you're looking to dive into topics on how to live a happier, healthier, more fit, and long lifespan, then you've come to the right podcast. Livin the Dream with me, Coach Damian Evans. Together, we will explore the topics on all things health, fitness, and wellness. Together, we will be lifelong learners on this journey to living the ultimate dream.
What up, Dream Team? Coach D here, coming at you from beautiful sunny San Diego, and welcome back to the Livin the Dream podcast, where we kickstart your week off with the right mindset to conquer your goals and to live your dream life. And today I'm going to share with you something that has had a massive impact on my own life, and specifically my productivity. These will be lessons that I've learned over the last 4 years of doing this podcast and of studying and of looking into ways to learn and grow and share what I've learned. These practices aren't just about getting more done. They're about doing it with more purpose. They're about staying aligned with your wellness goals and living a balanced life. And whether you're striving for better health, fitness, or just a more mindful lifestyle, these productivity strategies that I'm about to share with you, they can really help you get there. So let's get into it. 4 years of learning boiled down into powerful productivity practices. The first one up here is called the 2-minute rule. This one is simple, but really game-changing. If a task takes less than 2 minutes to do it immediately. Don't let small tasks linger. Do it immediately if it takes less than 2 minutes. In our fitness journey, this could mean putting on your workout clothes the moment that you think about working out, instead of just prolonging it and thinking about how long it's going to take to drive to the gym or what else you have to do. Just take less than 2 minutes to put on your workout clothes and then move on to the next step. Or stretching as soon as you wake up in the morning. When you get up in the morning, rather than thinking about all the things you have to do, immediately just do 1 or 2 stretches on your target areas that you'd like to improve upon: your hips, your low back, your hamstrings, your shoulders, whatever the case may be. By not letting these little tasks pile up, you keep your day flowing smoothly. So start your morning with this morning stretch the moment you wake up. Instead of reaching for your phone, just take 2 minutes to stretch your body out. This small action can help loosen tight muscles, boost circulation, and mentally prepare you for the day ahead. It's an instant win that sets a positive tone for the rest of the morning. Or maybe it's prepping your meals immediately. You're making breakfast and you notice that you're running low on veggies. Instead of putting off meal prep for later, take 2 minutes to do a quick chop up of some vegetables, organize them for tomorrow's lunch or tonight's dinner. This habit ensures that you stay consistent with your nutrition, and it eliminates any of that last minute scramble that usually has us going for DoorDash or going out to eat. Or maybe it's tidying up your workspace. After a home workout, you notice some weights are on the floor, scattered around. Instead of just leaving them on the floor, take 2 minutes to put everything back in their place. A clean and organized space reduces mental clutter, making it easier to jump back into your next workout without hesitation. One of my clients a few years ago, they struggled to stay consistent with their workouts. She was always finding reasons to delay the workouts, whether it was too much on her plate or the simple task of just getting dressed for a run. And one day I just introduced her to the 2-minute rule. She decided to commit to just putting on her running shoes as soon as she thought about working out. No pressure to do any more, just put on your workout shoes. That small action turned into momentum, and once the shoes were on, she found it was easier to head out the door, and soon her entire fitness routine fell into place. She figured out she had time to do this in order for her to get to her goals. She was able to make tiny little changes to what worked best for her. I mean, she didn't just start running regularly. She developed a habit of taking action in the other areas of her life. So that one little change really empowered her to stop procrastinating on the small things that were holding her back. It became a symbol of taking over her own health, taking control. A great quote here from Dale Carnegie, action breeds confidence and courage. If you want to conquer fear, don't sit at home and think about it. Go out and get busy. The 2-minute rule teaches us that action, no matter how small, can be the spark that leads to life-changing habits. So if it takes less than 2 minutes, do it immediately. The next productivity practice here is called the don't touch it twice rule. Once you start a task, finish it. This is especially important in maintaining focus on your wellness goals. If you start a workout, complete it. Don't stop halfway, because stopping and starting again can take you 5 times longer to finish. This applies to everything from meal prep to meditation. Finish your workouts without distraction. When you start a workout, commit to finishing it without checking your phone or taking on unnecessary breaks. If you stop halfway, it's harder to restart with the same intensity. By staying focused and completing your workout in one go, you get the most of your session and you build mental discipline. Maybe you complete your meal prep in one go. Meal prepping for the week. It can feel like a chore. It really is. It's a good block of time, and there's a lot of other things that I know you could be doing. Especially if you keep stopping and doing other things while you're meal prepping. It's going to take even that much longer. Once you begin chopping vegetables or cooking your meat or preparing your meal, commit to seeing it through. Completing your meal prep in one sitting ensures that you have healthy food ready for the week and reduces the temptation to reach for less nutritious options later. I find remembering the why behind the meal prep really helps, and knowing what the alternatives are, how many times a week you go out when you don't meal prep, how much money you spend when you don't meal prep, how much time you waste getting things ready to cook a meal and then to clean all the meal instead of just doing it one time once a week, doing it multiple times a week. That really does help while I'm meal prepping, motivate me to get it done all the way through. And then maybe it's about meditation. Follow through on your meditation practices. If you set aside time for mindfulness or meditation, avoid interrupting the session for small distractions like checking notifications. Of course, your mind is going to wander while you're meditating. That is exactly what the mind does. But when you stay fully present and you complete the practice with whatever time you had committed to it, you get the full benefit of calming your mind and centering your thoughts for the rest of the day. And you show yourself that you can do something that you said that you were going to do. One of my clients was juggling a really demanding job while trying to prioritize her health and fitness. And she'd often start her workouts, but would get really distracted halfway through. She would check her emails. She would answer work calls during it. And I introduced her to the don't touch it twice rule. She committed to finishing her workouts without any interruptions. She had her phone in a different place. She played her music from a set playlist, so she didn't have to mess with it the whole time. And what happened really was transformative for her. Not only did she notice faster progress in her fitness, but she also felt more energized and less stressed. That time away from notifications and calls really allowed her to just be present with herself and helped with her stress levels. Completing her workouts without stopping gave her a huge sense of accomplishment, and that carried over into her work and her personal life. So by learning to finish what she started, she really did start to regain control over time of her health. A nice Jim Rohn quote here: discipline is the bridge between goals and accomplishment. Discipline is the bridge between goals and accomplishment. So the don't touch it twice rule. This emphasizes that finishing what you start builds momentum and it builds self-discipline. It's about fully committing to your wellness and making the most of the time that you've set aside for whatever task that you need to do. The next productivity practice here is called the Rule of 72. And this is about making decisions with clarity. I find that making decisions on the spur of the moment really hasn't been great for me. So I try never to make important decisions when I'm hungry, when I'm angry, when I'm tired, or when I'm lonely. Wait 72 hours. This ties directly into wellness. Imagine deciding to skip your workout because you're exhausted or you're emotionally drained. You'll likely regret it later. Give yourself space to make the right choice. And this is something that I see all the time in the group fitness setting. Maybe a person is feeling overwhelmed after a really tough workout, and then they think about quitting their fitness routine altogether because it's just not for them. Instead of making a rash decision, just wait 72 hours. Chances are, after some rest, you'll have a clearer head and a better perspective. Maybe you're frustrated with the lack of progress in the gym that you're seeing and you want to switch to another program. Wait 72 hours before deciding. By the third day, the mindset might shift and you might realize that you just needed a rest day and not a new program. I've seen people drop out of programs after one stressful week and it just was too much, all their work, all their personal life, and then on top of it, they weren't seeing results. After giving yourself some time to relax, recharge, give yourself some time to think, you might just realize that you needed to adjust your schedule and not quit altogether. A couple of really great quotes here are, never make a permanent decision based on temporary feelings. Never make a permanent decision based on temporary feelings. And another one is, when emotions are high, logic is usually low. When emotions are high, logic is low. So when it comes to the rule of 72, never make important decisions, especially if you're feeling temporary emotions like hunger, angry, tired, or lonely. Next up, one of my favorites is called the daily highlight. This is a powerful productivity practice. Each day, choose one main task that you're committed to completing all the way through. When it comes to your fitness, maybe it's about preparing for that run or that workout. When it comes to nutrition, maybe it's about getting in that meal prepared for lunch or for dinner. But ask yourself, what's the one thing that if I complete all the way through today, it will make today feel successful? What's the one thing? This helps us in both of our priorities, getting the priorities straight, and also creating fulfillment by the end of the day. So for fitness, set a fitness goal for the day, whether it's going for a 30-minute run, completing a yoga session, or hitting a resistance training workout in the gym. Make your workout the highlight of your day. Once it's done, you'll feel a sense of accomplishment and achievement, and you know that you've made progress towards your health goals. If it's your nutrition, prioritize meal prep. If you've been struggling to eat healthy or you've been eating out too much, make preparing a nutritious meal your daily highlight. By cooking a healthy dinner, you're not only fueling your body with the right nutrients, but you're also creating momentum for healthier choices throughout the day. Or maybe it's about sleep quality. Can sleep be the big pillar that you need to fix? If you've been feeling burnt out, if your daily highlight could be something that could help you get a solid 8 hours of sleep, that would be powerful. Set a bedtime and stick to it. Prioritizing rest will improve your energy, your mood, and overall well-being. So setting up your next day for success starts with a good solid 8 hours of sleep. I once worked with a client who was overwhelmed by a really long to-do list, both in his personal life and his professional life. He felt like he was always busy and yet never truly accomplishing anything. We started using the daily highlight strategy. Each morning, he chose just one task that would make him feel successful if he completed it. One day, his highlight was finishing another workout that day, and it was also prepping a meal. And on another day, it was spending quality time with his family. So he had like different goals throughout the week. Focusing on just one key task each day helped him to regain a sense of control, and he found that by the end of each day, he felt much more fulfilled and less stressed. He realized that success isn't about doing everything, it's about doing the right things. What I like to do personally is at the night before, I am planning out my day. So I pull out my journal, I write down all the things that I need to do on the left side of the paper. On the right side, I have a time block. With that time block, I start to slide all of the tasks in, but I start with the most important one first. So if it's a project that I need to get done, if it's a podcast that I need to get done, if it's a client I need to train or a group fitness class I need to coach, whatever it is, the most important thing goes in the schedule first. Usually I try to get it in at the beginning of the day if it doesn't have to do with the schedule of whatever I'm coaching or training. But once I have that, I can slide in all the other little things to help kind of make the whole schedule full. Now, do I follow the schedule 100% of the time? No. There are things that have to shift and have to move, but it really helps to have a nice clear picture of what I'm going to be experiencing the next day. And then a bonus here, what I really love to do is I love to schedule in one thing that will make the day great. So at the end of the day, I look back. What is the one thing I can schedule in that will make the day great? Is it a workout? Is it a meditation session? Is it a walk on the beach at sunset? Whatever it is, I schedule in the most important task that will make me feel successful, and then I schedule in the task that will make me feel like I had a great day no matter what else happened. If you just take the time to schedule in those two things and plan it out and put it into your schedule like an appointment, like dropping your kids off at school, like going to a meeting at work, like if you make it a priority to do these two things, I guarantee if you're consistent with this, you will see changes in your life. Stephen Covey said the key is not to prioritize what's on your schedule, but to schedule your priorities. This daily highlight productivity practice, it helps to keep you grounded, reminding you that success is not about completing all the things, not juggling all the things at once, but completing what matters most. It's a simple, effective way to stay focused on your wellness goals. So hopefully you get something good out of that one. I really think that's one of the more important ones here. The next, productivity practice. If it's not a hell yes, it should be a hell no. If it's not a hell yes, it's a hell no rule is so powerful. If something doesn't excite you, don't do it. We can only manage so much energy. And when it comes to health and wellness, energy is everything. Don't say yes to things that drain you. Instead, focus on the things that align with your goals, whether it's the workout or the project or even social events. And know yourself here. If you're someone that is kind of a little bit of a hermit and you have a hard time in social situations and you're never out with people or you're never doing other things, maybe this rule has to be changed a little bit for you, because I know people that they have a family rule that they always say yes because they have a habit of saying no to everything. So know yourself here. But if you are I'll take me for an example. I overcommit to a lot of things. I'm saying yes to everything. I have people asking me to do mobility clinics. I have people asking me to do presentations. I have people asking me to do things when it comes to philanthropy and trying to join this drive or this fundraiser. All these things I love to do. It's like what fills me up, but I overcommit to everything. So I make sure that sometimes if I'm feeling burnt out, if I'm feeling like I'm overcommitted, this rule comes into play. I have to say, is this a hell yes? Okay, well, even though it's something that it might be sort of in line with the things that I really like to do, if it's not a hell yes, it's got to be a hell no until I feel like I have a little better grasp on my commitments. Choose your workouts. Choose your workouts correctly. Choose the ones that excite you. If you're not enthusiastic about your current fitness routine, it's a signal to change things up. Maybe you've been doing the same workout for months and it's become more of a chore than a joy. Well, then it's time to switch things up a little bit. Something that lights you up. Whether it's a dance class, whether it's going on a hike, or whether it's a new sport. If it's not a hell yes, it's time to rethink your fitness plan. Know yourself here. If you're someone that just started a fitness plan and you are someone that hops around from fitness plan to fitness plan, maybe you do need to stick it out a little bit more. But if you've been doing something for a while, if it's getting stale, figure out a way to spice it up. Maybe it's not changing the entire program. Maybe it's changing the person that you do it with. Maybe it's changing the activities that you do prior or after the workout, that you stack something that really lights you up to kind of change it up. Maybe it's your social situations. Say no to social events that don't align with your wellness goals. This is really important. You've been invited to a late night gathering, but you've committed to waking up early for a workout the next day. Do these align? If the event doesn't truly excite you or align with your goals, it's okay to say no to this one. Prioritize what's going to help you and help you feel good in the long run. And decide which wellness activities truly matter most to you. Not every trend in health or wellness needs to be a part of your routine. If you don't feel passionate about a specific diet, an exercise fad, or a wellness practice, don't force yourself to follow it just because it's really popular or just because your best friend is doing it and it works. Focus on what makes you feel healthy and energized, not what everyone else is doing. If you don't need to cold plunge, don't cold plunge. If you don't need to ruck with 20 pounds on your back going up Torrey Pines Hike Hill, like that maybe is not for you. You have to look forward to it. It has to light you up. If it's not a hell yes, there is something out there that is a hell yes. A few years ago, a close friend of mine was overcommitting to every opportunity that came her way. She had work projects, she had social events, she had fitness challenges. It was like on and on and on. She was exhausted and couldn't figure out why, since everything seemed so quote unquote important to get done. I shared the hell yes or hell no rule, and it completely shifted her mindset. She started asking herself, am I truly excited about this? Does this align with my long-term goals? If the answer wasn't a resounding yes, she gracefully declined. And guess what? The result? She had more energy. She had more energy for her workouts, more time for meaningful projects, and most importantly, more joy in her everyday life. This rule helped her realize that she wasn't obligated to say yes to everything. And then by being selective, she could focus on what really mattered. George McEwen, if it's not a clear yes, then it's a clear no. The book Essentialism. Yeah, this rule really empowers us to say no to what drains us and yes to what lights us up. By focusing on what truly excites us, we will not only protect our energy, but we will also align our actions with our long-term health and happiness goals. Sweet. Moving on. The next productivity practice, I like to call it ask who, not how. One of the biggest game changers for me was learning to ask who, not how. When you're faced with a task or an idea, don't automatically ask yourself how you'll do it. Instead, maybe start to ask who can help you. Whether it's a fitness coach, a nutritionist, or even an accountability partner, finding the right who can save you time and help you focus on what you're best at. So things like hiring a fitness coach to accelerate your progress, things like working with a nutritionist to optimize your diet, things like finding an accountability partner to help you with your consistency. These things are super impactful. One of the listeners of the Livin the Dream team, they shared with me once a powerful story about how this rule changed their life. They were trying to juggle a demanding career, a family life, and a fitness routine, which is very common, but not easy. They constantly asked themselves, how can I manage all of this? It seems so overwhelming, and ended up feeling just frustrated, overwhelmed, and didn't know what to do. After hearing about the ask who, not how rule, she reached out to a fitness coach for help and her workout plan. She hired a meal prep service for her nutrition. She decided that investment was much better because she was wasting a lot of time. She was going to the store. She was getting all the ingredients. Instead, just take all that out of the equation and got a meal prep for her. She found that was best for her. And then even asked her sister to help watch the kids while she worked out. This shift allowed her to focus on being fully present in each area of her life without then spreading herself too thin. She delegated. She figured out what she did well, and she figured out what she didn't need to do and how she could ask who. Instead of feeling overwhelmed, she then felt like this big empowerment. She felt empowered by the support that she had just built around her. And this allowed her to thrive both in her personal and her professional life. Success doesn't come from doing it all. It comes from knowing what you do well and finding others who do the rest. So the ask who, not how rule reminds us that we don't have to do everything alone. By finding the right support, you can move forward faster and more effectively, allowing you to focus on what you do best. Next up, procrastination is actually wisdom. Procrastination is wisdom. Procrastination does get a bad rep, but I've learned that procrastination is wisdom. It's your body's way of signaling that something's off. Maybe you need help, or maybe you need to delegate, but the next time you put off a workout, ask yourself, what is really stopping me? Maybe it's time to get a personal trainer or sign up for a group fitness program that holds you accountable, get an accountability buddy, or change what you're doing, because whatever you're doing, your mind is telling you that this is not the right thing. You want to be lit up by what you're going to do when it comes to your workout goals. So reevaluate your fitness routine. You've been putting off your workouts for days. And instead of feeling guilty, take a second and just pause and ask yourself, why are you putting this workout off? Maybe your current routine feels monotonous, or it isn't challenging enough, or it's too challenging. This could be a sign that it's time to switch things up, try a new type of workout. Maybe you do something more energizing. You could do boxing or yoga or dancing or cycling, something to reignite your excitement. Check in with your nutrition habits. If you've been procrastinating on meal prepping or eating healthy, it could be a sign that your current approach is too time-consuming, or maybe it's just too unrealistic. Maybe you need to simplify your meals or find a meal prep service to help you stay on track. Procrastination here might mean your current system isn't sustainable, and long-term sustainable consistency is the only way we're going to reach our goals. Maybe examine your recovery practices. If you're consistently avoiding your workouts, your body might be signaling you that it's overworked or under-recovered. Know yourself here. If you're someone that doesn't train very often or very frequently, this probably isn't you. Or maybe you're on the other end of the spectrum. You're someone that's always go, go, go. You're working out every day and you're feeling burnt out. If you are starting to avoid your workouts, it might be from your body feeling overworked or under-recovered. This might be a reminder to prioritize your rest, your recovery, stretching, or even book a massage to let your body heal a little bit and let your body fully recover before jumping back into an intense routine. You might find that your workout is a little more enticing after you've let your body recover. A client of mine once struggled with sticking to their fitness goals, and she was constantly putting off her evening workouts. The more that she procrastinated, the more she felt defeated. But when we dug a little deeper, we realized that her job was draining her energy. And by the time she got home, you're not going to have any motivation left. Instead of forcing herself to keep up with the same routine, we shifted those workouts to the morning when her energy levels were higher, when she had less excuses when later on in the day they just piled up. That small change, it wasn't a small change. It took time and it was tough to shift the schedule, but it's just one change. That change made all the difference in the world for her. What she thought was laziness, and she kept getting on herself about how lazy she was. She was actually getting her body to tell her that the routine was just not what was going to match her lifestyle. So by listening to her procrastination, we found a solution that fit her lifestyle and her energy flow. And then her consistently improved dramatically. The more we had those workouts in the morning, the less things got in the way. We got it done early, and then we got the rest of her day going. Then she had the rest of the night to be able to do whatever she needed to do with her family. Procrastination is the mind's way of saying, this isn't quite right. Let's take another look. Procrastination isn't always a sign of failure. It can be a signal that something in your routine or your strategy just needs adjusting. So listen to your body, listen to your mind, what they're trying to tell you, and you can find more effective solutions that align with your health, fitness, and wellness goals with some trial and error. Next up is the 90-90 rule, the 90-90 rule. Now, this is one for the goal setters. The 90-90 rule, this one is for the next 90 days. Spend the first 90 minutes of your day on the one task that will move you closest to your goals. Whether it's a workout, a meditation, a meal prep, it's a project at work, this rule helps to create consistency and focus on when you are best in your peak productive hours. Start your day with a workout. If your goal is to get fitter and stronger, make your workout the first priority of the day. For the next 90 days, dedicate the first 90 minutes to a fitness routine. This guarantees progress and sets a powerful tone for the rest of the day. Now, do you have to work out hard for 90 minutes every day? No. Maybe it's a walk, a 60-minute walk with a nice 30-minute stretch. Maybe it's a breath work and a mobility routine. Maybe it's a light jog with a resistance training program. Whatever it is, 90 minutes for the first 90 minutes of your day, and do it for 90 days. Whew, that will give you some big changes there. For meal prep, if your goal is to improve your nutrition, spend the first 90 minutes of your weekend preparing healthy meals or snacks for the day. When you start your mornings fueling your body with good choices, it's easier to stay on track as the day unfolds. Dedicate that time to something that was really important to you and see how that changes for you. You could commit to mindfulness. For those looking to improve mental wellness or reduce stress, use this time to meditate, practice yoga, journal. Start your day with mindfulness. This gives you clarity and calm and helps you approach the rest of your day with more focus and less stress. One Livin the Dream team listener shared with us that she struggled with balancing her work and wellness goals, and she had a demanding job and would often push her workouts or her self-care till the end of the day, only to be too exhausted to follow through. When we talked about the 90-90 rule, she decided to dedicate the first 90 minutes of her morning to health. And for the first night, just for 90 days, we tried to get really consistent. And she added meditation to that. She added a nice post-workout meal with that. And not only did she feel more accomplished by the time that her workout was done and then her workday started, but she also noticed significant improvements in her things like energy and mood and focus. Just her commitment to those first 90 minutes, it really transformed the entire approach to life and helped her realize the power of prioritizing what really matters. How you start your day is how you live your day. The 90-90 rule shows us that by dedicating our most productive time to what matters most, we can create lasting, transformative habits. It's not just about getting things done. It's about moving towards your goal with purpose and consistency. 90-90 rule, really, really powerful. The next productivity practice, biological prime time. Understanding your biological prime time. This is crucial for maximizing productivity. Identify when you're most energized and do your hardest tasks during that time. For me, it really is in the morning, mid-morning. Some people can do their stuff really early, like 5 a.m. For me, it's mid-morning. I like to be able to have a nice calm start to my day. Coffee, infrared light therapy, meditation, a little bit of journaling. And then I can get into my studying, my writing, all the stuff that takes a little bit more cognitive energy. For me, it's mid-morning. For some people, it's early morning. For other people, it might be afternoon. Knowing your body's rhythms helps you align with your health and fitness goals, and it helps you to hit your natural energy peaks and really work with those peaks. Schedule your toughest workout during your peak energy, or time your meal prep for when you have peak focus and motivation. Maybe it's on a Sunday before the week starts. Or meditate and journal when your mind is the clearest, first thing in the morning before you've gotten on social media, before you've gotten on email or watched the news. Being productive isn't about just being this workhorse, just keeping yourself busy or burning the midnight oil. It's about prioritizing your tasks and planning and fiercely protecting your time and making sure that you are making the most out of your time. By tapping into this biological prime time, you can optimize your efforts, ensuring that you're working with the highest potential. Whether it's workouts, meal prep, mindfulness, Aligning these things with your natural energy flow, it helps you maximize your results and maintain balance in your wellness journey. So maybe it's going to take a little bit of time of doing a little bit of self-reflection at the end of the day or during the day, maybe notating when you feel like you have the most energy in a journal or in a note section on your phone, and then seeing if you can find a trend over time and being like, oh, I think this would be the best time to slide this task into this time slot because I have the most energy or the most focus or the most motivation around this time of day. The next productivity practice is called the 80% rule. The 80% rule is all about progress, not perfection. You don't need to hit 100% before asking someone for feedback or calling something quote unquote done. In fitness, this could mean you're starting with about 80% effort in a workout and then gradually building over time from there. Sometimes aiming for perfection, it only slows us down. I've seen this from so many people that tell me that they're just a type A person. They are all or nothing. They just have to do this. Otherwise, it won't get done. There's too much flexibility in having an 80% rule. I'm telling you, this is the wrong mindset. I've seen it fail too many times. Don't wait for the perfect diet plan. If your goal is to improve your nutrition, don't wait until you have this perfect diet plan. All the right ingredients that are going to make up the perfect meals, like that's not going to happen. Start with 80%. Choose healthier options. Choose whole foods, unprocessed foods, 80% of the time. Allow yourself some flexibility because life happens and the way things are set up, there's going to be times when you're not going to be perfect. This approach will make it so much easier to stick with long term, and it will help you create some momentum to start moving forward. You can move forward with feedback as well. If you're trying a new fitness routine or a meditation practice, don't wait until you've mastered the task before you're asking for feedback or you're adjusting. After reaching 80% comfort with a new practice, just check in with yourself or maybe a coach or a trainer to fine-tune your approach. Progress happens faster when you take action, even if that action is not perfect. I've worked with so many people where we had the goals to hit a few different things to go towards their whatever fitness goal that they're looking to do. And when they are just so on top of it. They have all their stuff tracked. They haven't missed a day. Everything is rolling. They do it for a couple of weeks and then they hit an obstacle in life, a trip, or people come to visit, or there's an event in their life, or they're hosting, whatever the case may be. And then they fall off, and they fall off so hard. Rather than making that 1 or 2 days of hosting, it is what it is, but I'm back on it. I hit 2 weeks before this and I'm going to hit 2 weeks after this. They just fall off so hard because they were thinking all or nothing. And I was on it, and now I'm off of it. That is the wrong mindset. Instead, what I have them do is I have them think about one of the really good practices that has been super helpful is actually have a calendar in your house somewhere, a visual representation of what you've done as far as your goals. And so let's say you have 3 goals. Your goals are to make sure you eat breakfast that has 25 grams of protein. Maybe it's no screens 30 minutes before bedtime, and then abstain from alcohol. So you have 3 tasks that you're looking to do that they're going towards your goals. On this calendar, you make one diagonal line for one task. You make an opposite diagonal line for the other task, which creates an X. And then maybe you make a circle for the third task. Now, let's say I get 2 out of my 3 tasks done. I have an X, but I don't have the circle. The next day, I get all 3 done. I have an X and a circle. And then the next day, I only did 1 task, so I only have 1 dash or just the circle, whatever it is. When I look at that calendar at the end of the month, I'm looking for an X with a circle 80% of the time. Some days have just 1 line, some days have no line, but most of the days have an X with a circle. When I have that visual representation of what I just did over the last 30, 31 days, it helps me to see the bigger picture. That is super powerful because you don't have to be perfect to attain your goals. This can keep you motivated to keep moving forward and not falling off hard, because it's the hard fall offs that really, really add up over time. It's the ones where we take 2 months off because January 1st is coming, or it's the summer, so, I fell off for a week. I might as well just wait the whole summer and then start it back up in the wintertime, or whatever the case may be. Like, this is how you don't succeed, those big fall offs. So just thinking about 80% of the time, that's all you need. Perfection is not attainable, but if we chase perfection, we can catch excellence. Vince Lombardi. Great quote. The 80% rule is about giving yourself permission to make progress without needing everything to be flawless. Whether it's your fitness, your wellness, your life pursuits, it's better to be moving forward consistently than to have stalled by perfection. Cool. The next productivity practice is called eat the frog first. Yeah, the Mark Twain quote. For those of you that know me well, you know that I was a part of a startup group fitness program called Eat the Frog Fitness. And while that didn't work out as well as I wanted it to, the thought process behind Eat the Frog First is incredible. This means tackling your biggest and most challenging task at the start of the day. In the wellness context, this is obviously doing a tough workout in the morning. Once it's done, everything else feels better. When it comes to your nutrition, maybe it's about getting that big protein meal in first thing in the morning. When it comes to your mental health, it's about journaling, meditating first thing in the morning. If it's about your business life, it's about working on that project that you need to get done. That is the most important task of the day. If you eat a live frog first thing in the morning, everything else for the rest of the day is going to be easy. Do the hardest task first. All right, so that one's kind of self-explanatory. We'll leave it at that. The next one is Parkinson's Law. I think this one's a little bit more different. I know we've been kind of hitting home the same kind of message where first 90 minutes, 90 days, consistency, not perfection, like all that stuff is good. I really like this one. It's a little bit different than all those. The Parkinson Law states that work will expand to fill the time that you give it. So if you give yourself a whole day to finish a task, it's going to take all day. So maybe try to set a shorter deadline for your fitness goal. Instead of 60, take it to 30 or take it to 45 and stick to it. You might be amazed at how much you can get done when you don't give yourself a bigger block of time. Instead of giving yourself an hour or more for a workout, set it to 45 minutes. You'll likely find that you can get in the big lifts, the same kind of results that you're looking for, even better for those of you that overtrain, because you'll be more focused and you'll avoid distractions and you will be more efficient at the things that you need to get done. This approach maximizes efficiency without compromising your results. Meal prep with a deadline. If you usually spend your Sunday afternoon prepping all this food, taking hours, maybe you set a goal to get it done in 90 minutes and see what you can get done in 90 minutes. You put a block of time on it. Limit time for your meditation practices. If you have trouble doing 10 minutes or 15 minutes, maybe you just do 3 minutes of very concentrated presentness. You just really focus for that 3 minutes. You observe the thoughts. You make sure that you are right on top of it when you're looking and you're not going into those mind wandering holes like the monkey mind does like to do. Try to get something done in less amount of time and see if you can be more consistent with it. And then over time, you can add a little bit of time to the meditation practices, or you can add time to your workouts if you find that you're not getting the results you need and you're being as efficient as possible with the time that you're using. Work is going to expand so as to fill the time available for its completion. So make sure that you're not giving yourself too big of blocks of time to do things, because you will fill that time if it's been scheduled to be done like that. So by applying Parkinson's Law to your fitness or to your wellness or to your business, you can create this sense of urgency and focus, ensuring that you're going to make the most out of your time. So whether it's a 45-minute workout, a set time for meal prep, a set time for your project at work, you're going to be amazed at how much you can accomplish when you limit the time available. Next up, kind of similar to the 80% rule, we're going to talk about the 80-20 rule. The 80-20 rule is about focusing on the 20% of the tasks that bring you the 80% of results. In your wellness journey, this means identifying key habits like proper nutrition, proper recovery, proper stress management. These 20% of things that will bring you the most results. Focus on those and let the rest go for now. Prioritize the most effective exercises for you. Simplify your nutrition strategy. Instead of obsessing over every detail, every micronutrient, every macronutrient, maybe focus on the big picture habits. Just getting your protein, just staying hydrated. Once you have these foundational habits in place, the 20% that will give you the 80% of the results, then we can start maybe thinking about the supplements that will help you here, the fancy doodad that you can buy online to help stretch you here. Like whatever the case may be, pull the big levers first. Focus on the 20% of tasks that will bring you the 80% of results. Maybe focus on your key wellness habits. You know that protein, you know that sleep, you know that stress management, you know that making sure your calorie amount isn't in such a high access when it comes to ultra processed, hyper palatable foods. Like there's levers you can pull rather than focusing on, should I do fasted cardio? Should I do alternate day fasting? Should I be taking this supplement fat burner? Like all those things maybe help 1% to 2%. The other things, huge rocks, huge levers that you can pull that will give you most of the results. Focus on being productive instead of busy. Ooh, like that one. The 80-20 rule teaches us not to let go of what doesn't matter and focus on the few impactful actions that will drive the majority of our progress. Okay, so those are some of the more impactful ones for me when it comes to productivity practices. And as you can see, these productivity practices aren't just focused on getting more done. They're about aligning your time and your energy with the things that truly matter to you, that fill you up. Whether you're on a fitness journey, whether you're looking to improve your health, whether you're striving for balance in life, these principles will help you stay focused. They will help you stay energized. They will help you stay productive. Let me know what practices you currently do that have helped you. If any of these practices that you put into your life that have helped you, I want to know. Thank you so much for joining me on today's Mindset Monday episode. And remember, consistency beats motivation every time. Keep showing up for yourself and the results will follow. And that's it, my friends. Thank you so much for joining me on this Mindset Monday episode of the Livin the Dream podcast. Please share the knowledge that you gain with your friends and family and hold each other accountable. If you enjoy this content, it does help a ton if you could post on your social media stories a screenshot of this episode and include one takeaway that you learned and make sure that you tag me and share your journey. Tag me at livinthedream_podcast or at coachdamian_SD and let us know how this episode benefited you. Let us know what we missed. Let us know what we got wrong. Tell us if you have tried any of these practices and how they have went for you, or if you have any practices that we didn't talk about today that have worked for you. We want to know. Message us if you have any suggestions or tips that would help your Livin the Dream team that we can discuss on future episodes. I will be right here with you working on making us stronger, happier, and healthier humans. Until next time, friends, keep living the dream.